Aug17 Fantasy. Welcome to the Monday edition of Fantasy Football. I'm not going to talk about preseason week 2 lineups. Rather, I'm going to quickly go over my past results, and I mean quickly. Then I'm going to talk about the metagame for football, and then talk about preseason weeks 2, 3, and 4 metagame. So then, without further ado, let's quickly go over last week's result. I gave a Sunday to Thursday lineup. It was a winner. Gave up a lineup for Friday, which was a winner. Then I gave out a Saturday lineup, which was also a winner. All 3 of those lineups cashed on DraftKings GPPs. I did play the Sunday to Thursday game, so I didn't touch the Indianapolis-Philadelphia game. And I've already sent an email out to DraftKings because this week is just a terrible week as far as schedule. 2 games Thursday, 2 games Friday, a bunch of games Saturday, I think 4 games on Sunday and 1 game on Monday. So I've requested that they put a whole 1 full week lineup, all 16 games, and I'm hoping that they do that. But now what this does is this gives me 11 of 12 or 10 of 11 winning weeks on DraftKings in a row. Going back to last season, I think week 10 or 11, I have cashed every single week. The only week I didn't cash was the Pro Bowl / Super Bowl week. And I had Marshawn Lynch, Russell Wilson, and their key receivers. But had it been a final play run with Lynch, had it been a bootleg run with Wilson, I would have profited. Instead, I lost 50% that week, or a losing week. Okay, so now as far as the metagame. If you noticed last week, you would have seen a lot of teams going for 2 early on compared to going for the kick. And the new rule states that kickoffs are at the field goals, extra point field goals, are at the 15-yard line, thus a 32-yard attempt. Now, when I've been playing Madden football games on video game consoles for about 4 or 5 years now, what I've figured out is that if you go for 2, as long as you can be better than 50% long term, you're going to be scoring more points. Here's an example. If I go for 2 50 times and I convert 30 of them, I'm going to get 60 points. Whereas if I hit the kicks every time, I'm going to get 50 points plus 10 points. So it's more extra points. Generally speaking, you got a 99% chance of hitting a former extra point from the 2-yard line. But from the 15, that percentage reduces from like 99 to like 92, and then it's dependent on the kicker. Matt Bryant, okay, he's going to hit it, but yet the not so great kickers, it might be 80-85% for those guys. So with that being said, there's going to be teams that are going to be going for 2 more often. Quickly on my research, Green Bay, New England, and Pittsburgh seems to be the aggressive coaches that I would expect to go for 2 in the first quarter, second quarter. And that's important to note because in scoring fantasy, you get 2 points for a 2-point conversion. So players like Eddie Lacy, his value's gone up just because of that factor alone. So the metagame has been changing. Now as far as week 2 preseason, what do we expect? Starters are going to play more, but just a little bit more. I've looked at stats of how starting quarterbacks do in the second week of preseason compared to the backups. They pretty much equal the same. It's a hard week to do. It's harder than the first preseason week, and it's the hardest preseason week that there is. You got to decide, do you want to play a starter or do you really want to play a backup? I'm going to primarily be looking towards playing the wide receiver running backs that are going to be getting a lot of playing time, playing for something in specific that look like they have good talent. I got 3 or 4 guys already that I'm probably going to play, but I've researched a little bit. I got a lot more research to go. Week 3, starters pretty much play the entire first half. So in that week there, I'm going to be pretty much playing starters. I'll be interested to see if DraftKings actually has a salary cap for that week. Because if they don't, it's going to be putting Gronkowski in if he's playing in all the best starting matchups that you can have. Home teams do dominate these weeks though, so I'm going to look towards mainly getting home teams in, But if there's one player that I really like that's fighting for a starting job, fighting for even a backup RB2 or WR3 job, I'm going to be getting them in on the road games regardless anyway. Now the fourth preseason week, that's going to be the fun one because A, it's all games Thursday, it's only one day, and starters relatively don't play at all. Teams have already cut about 20 of their players, so it's all second and third teamers along the way, with many players getting to play the full game. I'll explain more on that when that time comes near, but I consider preseason week 4 to be a very profitable fantasy week. But for now, week 2 research is on the way. Quick little housekeeping note on baseball. I put a lineup in yesterday, put the wrong outfielder in, and I switched it up. It was Carlos Gonzalez that I wanted, and I did put him in, who homered. But the Boyd pitcher that I think that I put in had a bad day. I talked about the risk reward on it. I bubbled out the cash. It didn't get in. I'm glad baseball season's pretty much coming close to an end because the fantasy sports that I love the most by far is football, and I really like basketball as well. But football season is here, and I'll put out a video tomorrow and again on Wednesday and on Thursday and on Friday as well. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. And subscribe. You're going to get the best football information right here. Take care.